Haven't done a 4v4 ladder game in a while. And it's going down on Frozen River. So here we go, lovely white map over here. We do have a couple of bits of not frozen water. And you could walk your commander into that. It looks like it could be deep enough, maybe, to survive things. But reclaim all over the place. It is literally all over the place. The map is covered in things everywhere. Ice surrounding things, but anyhow, we are going to have an introduction to the players. Team 1 is going to be in the blue colours at the top left here. Team 2, the red colours down the bottom. Let's say good day. First off, team number 1 here up in the cyan colour, going UEF, grabbing some double adjacency with his factory. Very sensible. It is Chazza. Chazza's teammate over here at the mid-front position has gone Aeon, grabbed single adjacency. Why would you do this? I don't know, but this is the lovely other front player for team number 1, another UEF player, grabbing double adjacency like that, and this is Mr. IB Sleepy. Sleepy indeed, not a bad idea. Alright, and finally team number 1 in the rearguard air position, if you will, single adjacency from this factory, curiously. Anyway, this is Koff, and Koff is Aeon, so we have 2 Aeon and 2 UEF players for team number 1. Both Aeon players just grabbing single adjacency from their factories. Find that a curious idea. You can always just control K it later on if you want to do the adjacency. And that's how it is. Let's have an introduction of team number 2 then. First up, team number 2 over here in the yellow section, we have another UEF player. This is Fueled by Vi. He's got the double adjacency as well, working on his Hydro over there. In the middle front for team number 2, orange, Seraphim. And this is Harpestick. We've seen that name. I think it's in my previous cast actually. Anyway, he is there. He's got his factory, also with a double adjacency. Working on an air factory first. Right there. Looks like he's going early bomber, so we need to come back to that in a moment. Third player for team number 2. There we go. Another Siren single adjacency for this factory. This is the Codemander. He's working on some energy over there. And the last player for team number 2 in the bright red of the back, UEF single mixed adjacency. It is Strixter. So we have 2 UEF, 2 Aeon for team number 1, and team number 2 has 2 UEF, 1 Siren, 1 Seraphim. No Aeon representation for team 2, but team 1 has no Siren or Seraphim players. Now then, I believe he was working on a first bomber. I believe he has finished a first bomber. I believe this first bomber is on the way. I see he's been relying on the reclaim of these clumps of trees back here to get it out, and why not? But that's going to be the first bit of harassment. It's going to be this guy. Keep an eye on him and see how things are going. We have the lovely walking towards the front, because this is a lot of mess. You just can't pass this up. Look at it all. Look at it all. Nearly 3,000 mass in the mid there. Probably was about 3,000 before he started reclaiming it. But that is a lot to have and maybe give up. Bomber is just loitering, looking for engineers. One would presume that they're doing a reclaim thing like this. Bomber lands. Really? You've got this lovely shiny bomber. Which is pretty shiny, isn't it? Have a look at that. What shiny wee thing. Anyway. I don't know what it was waiting for, but whatever it's going to do, it missed the scout completely, and it is on its way. Has it found a target, or was it just reactionary because something got close? Might have been reactionary, okay, but it is looking for a target. This would be a great target. Stop this engineer building the Hydro, and instead it's going to bomb a scout. Wow, that scout feels really special, I bet. Second bomber coming in there from Harpestick though. He built a second bomber. Maybe this one's going for the engine up here. Stop the power plant. This T1 bomber is going for Eunice. This T1 bomber is going for NG. Yes, this is going to get it. Engineer dodges, not quite enough though. Engineer dies. The Hydra does not complete. It is now sitting there waiting and doing nothing. This bomber is going to carry on, and no, it's going to hang a Louis. I thought perhaps it would carry on. Look at trying to kill off these guys that are trying to build up an air grid. This bomber over here has been killing off some units at the front. 3 kills on that guy. I think this bomber does come back this way. Runs a muck of a T1AA. Doesn't focus the engineers though, goes for the pigeons. Needs to get 3 passes to kill those, so it's going to die before it manages that, thanks to the anti-air that is along the way. Turns around though, drops this bomb towards the engines this time. Yes indeed, 3 engineer kills there, so useful. Stop the production of the Hydro here, killed off a bunch of NGs building stuff over that direction. In the meantime, bomber number 2's got 3 kills to his name. There've just been a few combat units, nothing major, although these guys still look like they're ripe for another boom. Yes, they are. 3 more Auroras there, so 6 kills on this guy now. That's actually not too shabby. A couple of them have been scouts, but 4 of them have been tanks. Anything to deny your opponents. This engineer is going to be picked up next. Boom, there we go. 7 kills, still rocking around. Now it's been picked up by Ninty though. That's going to be it for this guy. Don't think he's going to get another bomb away. Nope. Down he goes, out of the skies, smack into the ground, but well worth his money this time around. Okay, chicken in the middle, and we have 2 comms from team number 1 and a single commander from team 2, the Codemander, walking up, although he is being joined by Harvestek, who's thrown down a mass extractor. Got a few units behind him as well, just some Zoos, some Thams. They're going to be alright for themselves. They could actually drop in and harass, so this tier 1 bomber is also doing a unit tonight. Get rid of intel would be very, very handy. Alright, now here we go. It is Delovey, IB Sleepy for Team 1, Codemander, and Harvestek for Team 2 in the middle. Just having a bit of a casual meet and greet as commanders do. They tend to greet each other with their guns. And Codemander's getting 2v1'd at the moment. Could be a little bit careful. There is a Tier 1 bomber around. It is taking care of the AA. Perhaps get rid of that first. Have a third commander walking up from Team 1. It is Koff looking to have a go. Bomb gets shot down by this rambunctious amount of AA walking on in. But over here, it is Delovey deciding that maybe he doesn't quite want to take on all these units and the commander. Codemander walks back now with his comm well into the yellow there, 6,700 health. Harvestek looking nice and healthy, no hits on him, no veterancy either, has seen absolutely no combat. And these guys, if they're not careful, they will be turned upon by a pair of comms and have issues. 3 comms mid though is the call from Codemander, and that is the correct call. There are 3 commanders mid for team number 1, but not all of them are participating. It looks like Koff is just sitting over here doing a wee bit of reclaim with what he has available. Alright, bomb gets self-kill, and with the demise of anti-air, it's going to think about swinging around to kill some more units, but we have these 4 now actually. So Delovey is being perturbed by tier 1 bombers most of the time and decides he doesn't know anything to do with them anymore. Gets out 5 anti-air units just to supplement his commander to be safe. Alright, plenty of units down here, and that is an upgrade for Harvestek, starting to get gun on his commander. Going to join his units with his comm and do some fighting. Didn't finish off the PG, the Hydro though. He pulled the engineer away to go assist his commander. You probably want to leave at least one of those guys building that. But a quick look up in this direction, and this is Chazza. Chazza has decided, I'm going to claim this spot for myself. We have 4 tier 1 mixes, but they are about to be... That's not 4 comms mid. There's still only really 2 comms mid, or 3 if you count that one. This commander is not mid. This commander is walking right on up into Strixter's base, and that is actually Chazza doing that, and he is going to grab these mixes for himself, give himself a bit of an eco advantage. What is he facing on the ground? Well, he could very well be facing T2, because Codemander's got a T2 HQ back there that will do nasty things to T1 units, but there's a lot of spam coming from Chazza, and no tech shift for him though, so he's full on T1 spam, whilst his opponent, the Codemander, does actually have T2. Get some T2 engineers out, but still focusing on that, and actually looks like he is now running some factory upgrades, trying to get these to T2, needs to do that very quickly to get units out. Not so good for his health. He is just getting absolutely pushed in right now. I think he's just playing for time, letting the units come back a little bit so he can try and catch them out with a bit of a firing line and slow them off, because off comes the first T2 unit. That's not an engineer from the production line, it is a rocket bot, and you see the big queue he's got focused up there. A couple of rocket bots, a whole bunch of rhinos, some flak, some looks like some vipers, yes indeed, and some stealthy stuff. So that is very much aware of what's coming in, and that is going to turn the table on these guys very much so. Upgrade going down for Chazza. I missed what it was. Could be gun, could be T2. Chicken back in the middle, and a sizable force now for Harvestek with his gun comm over there, but he is still 2v1 in the middle, and that is a gun comm for IB Sleepy. Left and what? Is there a bunch of yellow over here? There is, because there's a mongoose. So Fuel by Fire has made the transition to T2 and is doing exactly what you want to do with mongoose. You want to kite them away from the T1s, let their range do the talking, and they will outrange and decimate those guys quite happily all day, every day. In the middle though, it is a IB Sleepy still moving on up, and Delovey, who has no upgrades, is joining him. Must be there for moral support. It lasts too long to get into a direct firefight. It is Harvestek though swinging out to the right hand side. Maybe he spotted Chazza on an upgrade who's got no assistance whatsoever. That could take a while to complete. And over here though, the raid into Codemander's base, well, it's going to make some progress, but T2 is very much on the ground, and that is going to turn these guys into some kind of scrap. And he's putting up TMD because I don't know why. Maybe just expecting tack launches at somewhere, some point. But this is a problem. Chazza surrounded now by units, and he does have a gun comm bearing down on him. No, I think, yeah, Harbour 6 moves come back to the middle to try and focus on that. But if these things focus down on Chazza right now, he would take a huge amount of damage. And what did he finish? He finished a gun and started nano, then decides, actually, no, maybe not. I'm not going to stand still because that is T1 artillery bashing down upon him, down into the yellow, down into the red very shortly. There it is, down into the red, and that is Chazza having some issues. His army was over here trying to rush into Codemander's base, but he's been absolutely surrounded by bars. I think there's been a bit more T1 artillery that is maybe if they'd focused him down before, but actually Chazza's might get out of this. 2,500 health, got a rank of veterancy, and the units are finally clearing up. Harbourstick maybe kicking himself about not sending his commander over here to do the extra damage. And in fact, Harbourstick now himself could be in a bit of problems. He's got a massive army sweeping down upon him, plus the forces of IB Sleepy's comm and units. He's not great at all. Down with yellow, half dead, no ranks of veterancy. He wants to try and kill some of these units, but it might be not enough. His focus is on IB Sleepy's right now because there's no target priority. He's going to go pop. He's going to take IB Sleepy's army with him, and now it is the Codemander. He is got a commander behind him, maybe not, but T2 airs come out. Some stingers are sweeping up from Strider. They want to focus on Chazza. Kill the anti-air first, and Chazza's going to be dead meat. There we go. First T2 down. There's some T2 on the ground there. That could be a problem for Chazza if he didn't have overcharge, which he does. 2,500 health. If they rush him, he still could have problems. And the stingers are just encouraging IB Sleepy to walk away, but there's a lot of anti-air there that was put there early on by the Lovely, and that is going to take care of the stingers along with some interceptors. And IB Sleepy's going to get away, but will Chazza get away? He does. He's into the yellow, got himself another rank of veterans there, 5,000 health. Overcharge is doing their job and keeping him alive from the T2 push. Maybe that would have been the better choice. Tried to kill two comms at once, tried to get Sleepy and Chazza. Perhaps just picking up the one would have been the best idea. Right, up this direction I'm hearing some T1 bombers. They are just being naughty to some T1 mass extractors. Now 2 bombers is enough, but they're going to be interrupted by a thistle. A lot of thistles actually. They're going to have a bad old time there. And they're just going to do a little bit of harassment, but otherwise having to fall back. So back on the right hand side, more units pushing in here onto Codemander. Chazza has got T1 spam coming through. Got a single Cerberus turret. It's going to have a whale of a time on against these guys. Vipers, not really great as direct fire weapons. They tend to miss anything that's moving. So they'll soak up some damage from these T1 units passing by, but they're not going to get a heck of a lot done. Do we have a Rhino out? There's a Cerberus turret over here as well. Just about to have a third Cerberus turret up. They'll do alright for the T1 as long as nothing more comes along. Codemander's got his comm up this way. He's rebuilding some mass extractors. Wants to be careful though because another upgrade on the way for Chazza. Now starting Nano. Nano to give himself nice and healthy. Why not? A couple of ranks of veterancy. He's got the gun. Nano will buff out his HP and his regeneration down this direction. Now what do we have here? T3 land for fueled by fire. He's been mostly quiet, just a wee bit harassing with those mongoose he had. Here they are. They've just been running around, running amok. 5 kills for that guy, 6 for that one, 11, 5, 5, 4. Unfortunately, this looks like they're going to run into a commander and a T2PD over there with some engineers. They just need to keep away from that. Looks like he's just been microing these guys around the place just to be harassing. Just holding his opponent back whilst he makes T3 land, and he's got it, and the engineers are out, and he can look at doing all sorts of things. But hello, what's a strap bomber is out from Koff. So Koff has got himself into T3 air already, and the strap bomber with a couple of kills is going to go hunting for T2 mixes. Where are your ASFs? Well, he's got, nope, there's just T1. Strap bomb doing strap bomber things, and it needs to die. Need to rush an ASF off this. Instead, he's been going for a strap bomber of his own. That's not going to be great, especially if it drops his bombs in between these. It might be just close enough for a single bomb to kill them both. The answer is yes. You just lost pure T2 mixes, my friend, because your strat is well behind that strat. That is damaging as heck to Team 2's eco ideas. There we go. We have an ASF off the line now, but that strap bomb's coming in for another run. I should go for these. You get both of those again, and that could be absolute. Oh, you cheeky mofo. I know exactly what he's done there. He has denied the reclaim. With just a direct attack on the spot, he's denied the reclaim of those two mass extractors. They could have been rebuilt pretty quickly, but the extra bomb, it won't count towards veracity, it won't count towards any kind of damage, but it will remove the rebuild capability. Alright, Titans up front, they are playing it rousing around. Fuck the ground, this guy is anyway. Way too close to the edge there, not getting anything done, and just taking 3 damage, but now, got his T2 PD over here and a few Titans over here. This T1 push, it's going to need to think about turning around. It's not going to get anything done in this. Titan's just going to kite, their shield's going to regen, they're going to just murder these units all day, every day. T2 PD back here is going to join in the fun as well. It's going to ramp things up from a distance. Try and get a second one down. There is some T2 in this mix, but it's not going to be enough, and those Titans are going to have their wicked way. Alright. Trying to finish off the T3 P-Gen is useful. Rebuilding the T2 mass extractors, getting this one upgrading towards T3. Maybe we'll think about reclaiming that. I hear, is that another strat? No, this is actually Strider who said, you strat me, I'll strat you. He's taking care of a couple of mixes over this direction. Wants to think about doing these. It's always handy to be able to kill 2 mixes at once, and here's his strat. Couple of kills, so he's killed that mix, and here we go. Going to work on this one here. Drop your payload right in the middle of those, or in the middle of those. Here we go, 1, 2 down. And has a few ASFs for escort, so it was a rush strat from Koff, but he hasn't built anything. Oh, there's the ASFs. I wonder where they were. A little odd he didn't have any, but they are back here not doing much. That strat bomb's going to swing back around. It's going to probably look at killing off these 2 mass extractors. Or not, in fact, it is going for Koff's base directly. Not a great idea. Koff is well happily shielded, and he's got a Sam there. Strat's going to take a bundle of damage from this. Needs to keep on his Todd and not loiter for the extra damage going on there. Going to keep getting some more kills. Another bomb? Nope. Trying to run away, but the ASFs are locked on. It's not going to get much more done. A couple of shots, it's going to go down. Single bomb off again. It does kill off another mass extractor over there. Was a bit of a fracas, I heard, on just spotted on the radar this direction, but that was a lot of T1 trying to push in from Chazza, who does have known on his comm, but was repelled by the T2 forces here belonging to Codemander. Codemander, who is 81% of the way towards a T3 upgrade. He's been focusing on his ego in his space. He's got Team D around the place, got a few indies circling. In the meantime, Chazza has just T2 at the moment. Yeah, just rocking out the T2 for this particular point. I still hear the Titans. Where are they? Here we go. Titan doing Titan things. Got himself 8 kills over there. Just murdering up units, murdering up eco. Should kill the radar. That would be a prime thing to go for. Up this direction, this Titan has decided to bypass all of that. Going to kill a T2 mix over this direction. Maybe another one. There's a lot coming in this direction. Needs to get on his run. This Titan still has killed another mass extractor, but now is getting swarmed by T2 units. Not going to get out of this at all. He's going to die. Mongoose will just tear him asunder because they got a little bit too close. Same with this guy. Going to run into a swarm of T2 units, and yeah, they're okay. Titans are good against T1. Definitely not very good against lots of T2. But still got some work done. Killed off a few mass extractors, like a whole lot actually. Just slowing down the eco belonging to IB Sleepy. Over this direction we now see the Cybran tech launchers starting to have good old fun. We do have a few buzzkills in there, but of course Cybran techs, they like to split when they get shot and still try and do some damage. There we go. Not quite getting through. Gonna need a few more of these in there to get anything useful completed, but T3 is very useful, and that will be incredibly helpful for getting things done. Down this direction we can see that Fuel by Fire has 3 T3 factories now, so he's well into the T3 game and working on some units. Maybe also think about upgrading some things like, you know, this T2 mass extractors in his base while he's trying to run T3. That would be a useful little idea. Alright, needs to think about defending though. Oh, this is a drop. A couple of Titans on this transport. Will it get through? Well, the answer is maybe, but here come the ASFs from Koff. Alert to the danger, spots the transport. It's going to get blapped out of the sky, and there's a pair of Titans just falling to the ground, exploding, and turning into a wee bit of a mass donation. Lots of T1 over here, and some T2 PD. So T1 forces for the push, T2 PD for the hold, and some buzzkills, good old tech missile events to try and slow things down. Extra tech launches wouldn't go amiss over here. You can always outdo. Well, You get a few TMD, get a few tech missile launchers, mobile ones, and it makes your opponent do things like this. Put up a bunch of buzzkills, waste some mass, whilst you do things like move to T3 and build some units. Get some bricks coming out of there, get some mobile T3 artillery as well. Although the Control K, it looks like he wants to try and get some more mass upgrades going. Yes indeed, there we go, mass extractors on the way. You got the reclaim, use it, get this to T3, get that to T3. And that will certainly encourage your endeavours to do better. Got the build power from the hive, so don't necessarily need multiple factories. You can just sort of use those to boost, supplement everything you are doing. Back down left hand side we see it is still fuel by fire. He's holding out with that T3, grabbing another transport. He's got a couple of them. Looks like he's determined to try and do some drops, but still not quite upgrading his ego. Wants to T3, but he wants to upgrade that. Right, let's have a Chixie. Did I not actually thought by this stuff? No, I didn't. I thought I had. Anyway, that is going to be a problem. Roadman got some extra eco over here, going T3 on this factory. Looks like he's going to have a mix of Seraphim and Cybernetech. Right, going down on the left hand side, looks like a bit of a push coming in through by Ugly Sleepy. All T2 though, no T3 in the mix. These Titans holding those off. There's a couple, some T1 PD with some T2 behind them. Just sort of in the general area of around there, spread out, just denying a general kind of Ravager. It's going to take some time, but a Ravager will be a welcome addition to everything over here. I wonder what kind of range it would have. Well, I might try and start shooting things on the other side of this hill, which will be a grand old fuck you, which will be absolutely, yeah, absolutely useless. Just park some units up here, distract the Ravager, and then swing around while the Ravager's shooting the hill. Yeah, that would do grand old things. In the middle, just quietly building up with, nope, just T1 forces. I thought maybe there'd be something more threatening here. But Lovely's just got a bunch of T1. Well, there are some obsidians, sorry, there's T2 in the mix, so there are some obsidians, and they are positioning for a push. Speaking of pushes, there goes the T1 rush out from Chazza. Look at all these units, they're fronted by actually some T2, got some pillars and some T3. Yes, he's got Titans in there as well, so he has made the transition towards T3. And now it is the Codemander. Where are his units? Well, they're all the way over here, which I find a strange position to be when you have the potential of all this right here to run at your base. And he's going to have some problems for his army being out of position. Got some bricks, yes, got some T2 PD. But if he thought he was going to be rushed by T1 units, he's got another thing coming, because he's not being rushed by T1 units. That is T2 all day with T1 behind it. So the bricks are going to have... they're going to try and do their best. A bunch of T2PD being thrown up, and Codemander needs to be cautious. I think they have enough here to surround him and take him down. Absolutely rocking up with the T2PD over here. Maybe T1 would be a better idea. Get some squeezed in here to kill things. Ping is going down on what they should try and kill, and the power has been identified as a particularly good target. And it would be a particularly good target, except there's a few bricks in here they are holding for the moment. Codemander is trying to do what he can, but these units are absolutely romping right into the middle of his base. He is under a lot of threat there. T1 PD right now would be the good idea. Get just a bunch of those. They have very high DPS. They take care of these units in very short order. The units are sweeping back. T3 PG is very, very hurt. And in fact, that is about to go, well, no, gets a bit of region on there, I think. We're just about to go pop. These units aren't focusing it down. 1500 health. Looks like he might have just managed to survive this. More units coming in, but now his army is in place for defensiveness. And they aren't going to get anything else. That was in the red, so that survives just barely the massive push that came through by Chazza. And now there's a whole lot of mess on the ground that he can just scoop right on back up. These units decide to come back though. They think, oh, we could go for that. No, you can't. Your moment is gone. Now it's just some anti-air. There are some obsidians rocking in here though. I can hear them firing. This guy right here. He's not going to get more than another. Yeah, he's gone. So a massive push from Chazza, and Delovey almost put the Codemander out. I mean, he was very much under pressure there. His army was all the way over here. A little bit of focus fire may have done them a world of good. They killed the shield. Like, a lot of the units just rocked on in. They didn't actually focus a target, they just moved in and didn't go for anything. A bit of focus fire could have done absolute wonders over there. Left hand side, just have a quick see, and these Titans are having lots of fun. More Titans over here. They're trying to close in with the Mongoose, because Mongoose actually are ranged Titans, just to be extra irritating. So Titans have to get really close, but they take an absolute hammering trying to do so. So they're going to drop on back and rethink their lives. Still just Titans are popping out of the factories of Fuel by Fire. He's doing okay for the moment. He's managed to push back in a few different directions. It's nice and mobile Titans. You can run them all around the place and just a bit harder to react with than the slow plodding Percivals, but nowhere near as tough. Alright, in this direction we have what could be an ill-advised push. Note, the units have decided to stop. You may want to get some mobile T3 artillery and they could start hammering this position because there's quite a bit of defences there. Plus the shields, and that looks like a TAC battery. Yep, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 TAC missile launchers, so Chaz has decided he's going to try and reach out and crush things from a distance. We'll see how that works for him. Would they even get over the hill? Yeah, they would actually. I think they'd get over the hill okay. Alright. What has the airplanes been doing? Well, how about a nuke? Mr. Strider. How about a nuke? Why not? Oh, here's the push up here though. Codeman decides I don't like the spot. I'm going to go see what I can do to it. And what you can do to it is take the shields down, maybe not kill many units. The bricks are bearing the brunt of the point defense. There's so many triads in there. Plus all these units as well, of course, and the shields keeping things alive. But he decides, you know what, fuck it, I'm going down. He's going to rush us and see how much damage he can do, but I don't think he has enough units to fully crack this, especially with the support coming from Chazo. Got some a couple of Titans in there as well. They're going to do their thing, and the point defense is just going to hound absolutely everything. I think even just having a couple of mobile T3 RDs into the mix would have made this a much easier job. Get them in, soften things up, do some extra damage on there, but it's actually not... Oh no, running out of bricks. Only got a few left. This shield's about to drop as well. That's going to lose some of the defensive potential. Yeah. More new bricks coming on him. I think it's time to drop these guys back out of point defense range and look at maybe trying to just do something different. Something different. Something different could be your throat of that. It's about 50% done from these guys. 49, yeah, 50% done on there. Left hand side, we see the Titans are still doing their posturing. I think they're just walking back and forth here trying to distract this lot, but there's Percivals in the mix now. Not good for Titans. Percivals will decide empty your face from a distance. Alright, this lot here looks... No, that's not another push, surely. You don't have enough units for that. You definitely don't now. There's only got a handful of T3 units, and there's plenty of point defense still there ready to go. I don't think he's got enough for that, especially with reinforcements coming in. T1 mobile artillery will do damage to you. Are they focusing the shield? This confuses me. The shots are missing with the point defense and are hitting the shield. And run out of units. Yes, you have. Not good for your health. Chicken is on the way though. Still, the nuke is on the way for Strider, who has a good amount of air. It's looking pretty even on the air game. Let's just have a check how much they got. Strider's loitering with 73 ASFs. In the meantime, Koff has 77, so yeah, pretty even. Difference of 4 ASFs in it. Question is, have they spotted the nuke launcher? Well, I think they started this a long time ago because that is already loaded. I think it was Brent PVSD, like he just builds it because he builds it. Have a check around the rest of the things and nothing done there. The Lovey though, I was just about to have a look at that guy. He has finished an experimental in the form of a Galactic Colossus, and that's going for a Stompy Wander towards the front line. So how far away is that chicken? Because they are going to need it. While the chicken's about 80% done. Yep, 80% done. Just about to go for. Monkey has been started over here. That's going to go up pretty quickly, but maybe you want to focus on finishing this one or you start another. Definitely going to need this, although yeah, it's going to finish in plenty of time before that GC gets to the front. It's a very slow walk. Once again pushing up here still, and it's just getting a worse and worse idea the more he does it, because now there's Percivals in the mix over here as well. So T3 on the front lines in addition to all those triads. Look at them though. This triad's got a kill. The damage it's done is huge though. This triad's got 5 kills, couple ranks of veterancy. All these triads are like veteraned up. And with the engineers scooping from within their protective range, just a lot of mass that Chaz has just thrown into his coffers. Not great for that, so definitely wanted to get some long range options here. Mobile tier 3 I think would have been the best bet. Get a few of those just to lob their shells over and soften things up. Chaz is still up front with his comm, looking safe under his shield though. Back down the left hand side, and the Titans have been forced back. Spearheads were built. Now, spearheads are a great long range option, but not without support. And I don't think Titans are the right support. This army belonging to IB Sleepy is pushing over. Commander finishes off his chicken, and it's going to be just in time because their GC isn't too far away. This army's pushing around to the right hand side, but it's not going to keep pushing too far. There's right defensive units over there. Lots of drops available should he so desire to do so. Still hasn't upgraded eco. I'm just going to say, you can have all the builder power you want, you can have all the drones, you can have all the engineers, but you gotta upgrade your eco as well. Come on. It is 27 minutes into the game, and he's still got T2 mixes, his core mixes in his base. This is his first factory he built right here, and he's still got T2 mixes right beside it, so yeah, he may want to reconsider that idea. Where's chicken gone? Chicken's gone up there. Now this is a base cracker. A chicken will walk into range at, but look at the scooping going on from all these NGs, and all this mass is being repurposed into something nasty, I would imagine. There's got to be something going on, or is it just more T3 spam? Nope. Repurposed into T3 spam, nothing experimental coming out from Chazza. He's just decided, no, fuck it, I'm just going to do ground units. T3 factories all day, every day. But we're going to hear that noise and be a wee bit, understandably, not too bad actually. Still got the shields up, still got the point defense, a good amount of Percival's there. GC is going to try and reposition to go and assist, but it's going to be too late. This entire position is going to be wrecked. The Yathota is going to be the focus of the firepower. It has a lot of damage potential, of course. You know, it's Yathota. It's got lots of guns, but the monkey also is nothing to be sneezed at. That mega laser on his head will just melt things once they come in. The Yathota moves on up. All sorts of things he can fire. Guns on the arm, guns on the right arm, left arm, all firing from his head. And with the support of these guys coming in here, it's not going to be pretty. Even with the GC coming, this could be actually this will be very close thing. The Percivals are dead, there's still a ton of bricks. The GC starts hoovering up units with his track drums. See them getting pulled on in there. Pulled in and crushed against those things. Not great for himself, but there is still Monkey plus Chicken firing away on the GC, and the GC is having a go at the Yathota now, but its health is dissipating. Who's going down faster? It's actually the Yathota that might be losing out here. The bricks are trying to assist as best they can. 25,000 health versus 22. In come the Harbingers as well, and that is actually going to be a success for these guys. And fighting right overhead is the air game. The ASFs came in, I don't know what they were doing, maybe they're going for some bombers, but that has been a solid air win for Koff at the same time. The chicken actually comes out on top, got some ranks of veterancy, which undoubtedly helped his health pool there. Does take down the GC, and the nuke is completed and fired from Strider. The question is, where's he putting it? And he's slapping it straight down in the middle of DeLovely's base, whose SMD is not loaded, and DeLovely makes an exit stage left to get away from this. The SMD back here, of course, is loaded. It's double loaded actually, so good old Koff is well prepared for a nuke, but that is going to hurt right into his base. Look at everything that's dying over there. All mixes, T3 Pigeon. This one survives by just a little wee scrape. 198 health. So close. Keeps a pair of mass storage over there, but there's some peripheral mass extractors as well. He's not too badly off, thanks to the T3 Pigeon surviving. If that died, it would have been a completely different story. But not great either way. But this direction, now there is a reclaim galore. We've got what? 50,000 mass right here, ready to adjust the experimental Rex. Then you throw in all the ones underneath. 70,000 in that exact spot, another 9,000 down there, another 8,000 up there. So 90,000 to 100,000 mass here, ready to scoop, and engineers from Team 1 are already on the scene because Team 2 don't have anything to try and push and hold that. 2 experimentals dead, they killed the firebase, yes, but the GC turning up was the trump card, and the air loss was also very, very critical at the same time, because now Strider is going to just have to build ASFs, and Team 1 could switch up to strap bombers since they hold a massive air advantage. But T3 pushing through here, it is Koff and Chazza with some Percivals and Harbingers. They are ready to go for a wander. What can slow them down? Well, a crab could. Crab could very much slow them down, and it is just popped. It is on its feet and it is ready to rock against this. And it will do a great job because it can do it at range. Upgrade on the way for the Codemander. Don't know what the upgrade is. I missed the announcement. Announcement didn't even come up. Could be tech, could be laser, could be teleport. Nobody knows. He's definitely going for it though, whatever he's going for. Another GC started by Koff. Check the left hand side, and now it is, yeah, very much Percivals and Spearheads. Of course, if your unit stands still, Spearheads will do a great amount of damage, but they tend to miss anything immobile. And speaking of things that are mobile, these Percivals, big fat line of them, rocking into the Priesties over here that belong to Fuel by Fire. He does have some point defense down, but it's mostly T2. That does not last long against Percivals once they focus it. And I think he's got Spearheads of his own. Nope, just Flapjacks. But definitely missiles all over the place. Spearheads need to run away, like away. They just... They're paper to Percivals. They are absolutely getting hammered. And running out of units is Fueled by Fire. This lot is a scary thing to go for. Quick check over this direction, and it is Crab and Monkey. They have been finished, and they are having to go with things. There we go, and Codemander, yeah, he's finished Raz. He has finished Raz, you're quite right. We see a sneaky little drop, or even just a walk actually. I think that was just a walk of Percival. Started to have a go at things down here, cleaned out a bunch of units, and now it is standing still in range of T2PD to kill some mass storage. Probably wants to wander in this direction and kill that off before it dies, but actually it's not moving. And this hero Percival, 12 kills to his name, 4,000 mass destroyed, is now resigned to his fate and is going to stand there getting blapped in the back. Just gradually dying. Well, that is a shame to see. You've done good work. And the arc from a triad just flopping over. Poor little Percy. Poor little Percy indeed. Anyway, back to the actual action. And the double experimental push back up in this direction. The monkey plus crab, well, they're there. They're pushing, but everything's already been reclaimed, and there's a massive army sitting behind there waiting for them to show up. The two RT installations going on down, they're maybe a bit late though, because, well, the crab's in range. And there's not enough of them to be able to affect the outcome right there. Here we go, absolutely hammer being dropped by the crab. Shooting at the wrong things though, wants to kill engineers instead of the PD. That seems a really strange choice. But there we go, that is that hosed on down. Mass amounts of build power onto the Fat Boy. Maybe wants to build that while you're doing the reclaiming instead of after, because now he's going to struggle with mass to do it. Still a sizable number of units to keep these guys at bay for now. In the left hand side is not looking particularly great, although there's a lot of Percivals out there for Fuel by Fire now. And that's actually a decent amount to hold off this. Running out of Percivals is IB Sleepy. He decides to fall back and not push that too much further. Some Ravagers back here throwing down their extreme long range destruction as well. Good old Gatling guns are fun. How's your expansion going on over here? Well, we have T3 mixes in your base. Congratulations. Got a couple of T3 pigeons, some T2 pigeons that could be reclaimed and put into mass. He got T2 air, not doing a heck of a lot. Chazza finishes off his Fat Boy. And that is now going to think about sliding on forward and raining some range destruction down upon these guys who can move to the middle and just wreak havoc. There's definitely not enough here to stop them. But let's have a look at the air game. Has Strider Managed to catch back up. 76 ASS for him, but we have 157 for Koff, in addition to 10 strat bombers. So the strat bombers plus the ASFs, you aren't going to be able to dive in on that. It is 2 to 1, and he would lose absolutely all of them. What they're going to need to think about doing is having some anti-air on the ground. That will be incredibly handy. It would help even up the numbers if anything pops overhead. But there's one down here. You're going to want to swarm with them because actually, is that chicken as well? Okay, so Codemander now has 3 experimentals on the ground. He's got a crab, he's got a monkey, he's got a chicken. There is 1 experimenter up here, but it is assisted by a huge number of. And here come the strats once again. Looks like they get a good slight dodge from the monkey. Manages to get just out of the way, but yeah, the retreat is on because there's just not enough anti-air on the ground. There's not enough ASFs in the air. Strider knows he can't dive in on that. He's outnumbered 2 to 1. That would take an incredibly good turn, catching right behind Koff's ASFs to do anything. And there's really not a heck of a lot he can do at the stage. Left hand side, another push coming on down here from Ivy Sleepy. This time he's got some shields mixed into the slot with the Percivals, and I don't think they're stopping this time. Which I take that back, they are stopping. Well, at least that one stopped and it died. So Point Queens, Percivals, Shields, Ravagers, they're all doing their job, and I think this push may not quite make it as far as he thinks he might. And now Ivy Sleepy decides to turn around. Koff finishes off an experimental. Onto the finish, he's got GC back in his base, fair enough. There is a strap bomb down here, looks like it's going to kill off some of the things over in that direction. But this is still of concern. 3 experimentals sitting there for Codemander. Going to be very tough to push, although having said that, Fat Boy is probably the ideal thing to push because it can hit them from nice long range and there's not much to stop them. Inside has held, the point defense has done its job. The forces belonging to Ivy Sleepy have fallen back. He's just decided he doesn't quite have enough to finish things off there. And speaking of things, a Fat Boy has been started by Fuel by Fire, but he has run out of units, and maybe he wants to think T2, starting T2 on his comm. Yeah, fair enough. While there's a sizable amount of point defense over here, T3 artillery is going to make a mockery of that because it can just destroy it from range. No units to push back on this, it's going to be problematic. Chicken on the right hand side, Fat Boy is moving into range. Tons of Percivals out front, Harbingers behind. All sorts of assistance ready to do on that. There are now 4 experimentals for Codemander, although the monkey is particularly damaged, it's about half dead. The crab's lost about a third of his health, so not entirely healthy, but they have got support. Another nuke is out from Strider, and the question is, where's this one going? It is, I don't know where it's going. Why do I hear? I did hear. Oh no. That, I think it was a Tele SACU, because that has died. I heard it, I did not see it, and that is incredibly well timed, taking out the SMD while the nuke is in the air. A gamble, but a gamble that has paid off, and that is going to absolutely destroy Koff's entire air grid, his entire base. All his energy is gone, all his PGNs are dead. He's left with a bunch of T3 mass extractors, no energy income. He's got some engineers here that they can start putting on a T3 reactor right away, one would imagine. But he still has a sizable air force and a very sizable bomber force. Still has 200 ASFs and 20 odd strap bombers, and they are going straight for Fuel by Fire, who's throwing up some shields in desperation. Has he got SAMs? He does have SAMs. If he moves a bit close to the hill, maybe he can avoid some of their fire, but under the shields, oh, so many strats. Is he going to get out of this? Lots of shields rain. He's got huge chunks of shield on his command as well, but not enough for that. Surely. 2,000 health. It's going to take one more bomb to kill him. So very, very close, and the strap bombers, are they going to get one more away? There it is, and that is going to be Fueled by Fire. One little final bomb from those guys, and here goes a big old air fight. This is a nice concentrated clump of ASS from Cop turning in a tight circle. We have Strider's air all over the place, unfortunately flanking left, right and about, but it is ladder. This should all hand over some anti-air in there, but still going to be a win for Koff. Actually, he's losing ASS by a whole lot, and of course his air grid is dead, so we can't even rebuild it. And while he has, looks like he's won the air fight, he's fighting over SAMs and still dropping numbers. Not great for his health there, so the air is, I think he's going to lose eventually because the reinforcements are coming off the production line all the time for a Strider. But push down this way, it is double chicken versus double Fatboy and GC, Crab, Monkey, they're all around there, plus all the units on the ground. Now these two chickens are going to rock on and they're going to focus down on the GC. They're really going to kill that off. Monkey's moving up with this big old laser. The Crab's having to go to the GC. One chicken down, second chicken is now the focus. Needs to think about getting moving. Want to get away from that lightning storm that will occur. Also try and dodge the Fatboy fire. Move through and carve up units. The Monkey is hoovering harbingers. Chicken is getting hammered. That's going to pop down in a second. There's going to be a second lightning storm there, which is going to be bad for the Crab's health because it's going to be caught right between two of them. Wants to run away. The Monkey is killing off Harveys. There we go. Lightning storm down. Go the T3 units there. Crab is getting hurt horribly. Needs to fall away. Monkey's gone down. Still a few harbingers and a pair of Bat Boys left up there, but critically, the air game is gone. And my word, look at this production grid over here. We have T3 factory surrounded by mass fabs, and it is costing 6 mass to produce 9 mass per tick to produce a Percival, when they normally cost 24. So by surrounding it with T3 mass fabs, it has gone from needing 24 mass per tick to create to 9. So it's costing basically just over a third of the price, thanks to those mass fabs. And that is just like, I can replenish my army in half heartbeat. Well, he's got so many of them over this direction. Fatboy has been built by Codemander as well. He's still got the Crab and then now the chicken completed, and this time the mass is right on his doorstep. And with the addition of his own Fatboy, perhaps he can get some extra long range to consider taking these guys out. They need to maybe fall them back, because that Crab is going to be distracting while the Fatboy comes in, starts lobbing his fires. The chicken can rush up as well. These Fatboys are definitely under threat. They've got nothing on the ground to really slow things up, so they have to fall back. They cannot stay there, but left hand side and the collapse is imminent. Here we have a chicken massive ground army working its way in, and there's really nothing on the ground to stop them. That is going to be able to do devastating things. And to be honest, if he had another nuke, which he almost does, actually he does have another nuke, I would think about sending it here. But that's just an attack ping, not a nuke ping. The nuke ping is going up this direction, wants to obliterate this whole giant construction farm. And I think it will, because I don't see any SMD. Oh, there's one, sorry, I take it back, but that's just been finished. It's not going to load anywhere near in time. The nuke is in the air. That launcher has done incredible things. And another nuke. All this production. Look at it all. So nice. So pretty. So dead. That was a massive, massive blow. So much production, so much eco, all of that is just absolutely gone. But still, down the bottom is a threat. There is some anti-air in here, perhaps. There's some flak, but he's a broadsword, and if they focus the flak down first, they'll be able to then wreck everything here. But he needs some kind of help, because if that pushes in, he's going to be disastrous. Checking out things in this direction though, they've decided to ignore that Fatboy and push towards the mid. 1, 2, 3, 4 experimentals, away we go. And what is there to stop those things? Oh, not much, but they turn back. Why are they turning back? They could just push right on up here and cause absolute mayhem. There's 4 experimentals, one of each kind. Got a crab, got a... oh no wait, monkey's dead. Got 2 chickens. 2 chickens, a Fatboy and a crab. They could just waltz on through, but I think the concern is this. Yes, indeed, the army is on the move. There's a bunch of broadswords in here, some units on the ground, but really, what else can they do right now? You could nuke. You could nuke that. Point blank nuke. as a defensive turret would murder all of this, leave the GC very, very much hurt, and that would save your bacon instead. He's focusing on a bunch of Ravagers. Use the nuke right there, right there. All this would walk in. Chazza says, I've got a nuke loaded. He's got a nuke loaded. He's got a nuke loaded, well, virtually. SMD's loaded. And if he's got a nuke, these guys have S&D. Well, I don't see one here for a code. I don't see one here for Rider. So despite having the nuke, they must not have been able to scout. They must not have scouted this, and this could be a very turning item. No, they have scouted it. The nuke has been spotted, but I don't think anyone built an SMD. Oh dear. Very much oh dear. Right here, the GC is getting absolutely swarmed by broadswords. His health is plummeting as a chicken which probably needs to just turn around. It's already getting shot in the back. You might as well walk into those enemies and go for it. And there is the nuke, and that has come out from Chazza. And where's it going for? Well, first and foremost, it's going to plonk right here on top of Codemander. It's too close for him to run away from, especially if he runs in the direction that it is going to. And I think he's about to cop a nuke on the top of his head and be out of the game. Yes, indeed, there's the nuke right there. And say goodbye to Codemander. And we talked about production getting obliterated from the game. There's Codemander plus his main base. It's also his HQ. And now for team number 2, it is just Strider trying to get some work done. Oh, he's not too bad off. He does have the nuke. It is... Wait, oh no, that's nuke defense. Sorry, he does have a loaded nuke. Look at that, 238,000 mass killed by that thing. And he's got that under control there. This is finished off. The chicken has done chickeny things and killed the remainder of the forces. Broadswords have done their work. But it looks like there's a crab up here which is slowly getting picked apart. Though I say that, it is absolutely picking apart the Persicles in turn. Just the Fat Boy is a problem, and the Percy is going to move in range. That crab won't last too much longer. Another nuke fired up in this direction. That is loaded though. That would have been the priority for KOF to get completed and get loaded. And even if there's another nuke over there, this is double loaded. So that nuke won't get through. You need about 4 of them to make it past the 3 anti-nukes that are loaded. And this one is not loaded over here though, so maybe sleepy a little bit behind these scenes. No more nukes for you, Strider. And he's now stuck firmly in the corner of the map over here. What is his next move? Well, he's really rapidly focusing down on that SMD. Needs to get it loaded because he knows that is going to be very much key towards the next step of survival. This launcher is... oh, it's not being focused on, it's not being assisted because he's a Duke. There's a Duke away, and actually Strider says, I don't know how to play this. Or I don't want to play this, and he actually hits the surrender. Slightly anticlimactic right to the end there, but big push coming on through there. The nuke coming out from Chazza was destroyed Codemander over there. And then it was a Duke.